Hey, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be all about the equipment, the reformer. So at first glance, making changes to the reformer can seem a little bit daunting and a little intimidating. Once you get in there and you figure out why we make those changes, it becomes super easy. And also, once you set it to your settings, it's a breeze from there on out. So this video will be broken down into different components. The first component will be all at the foot bar end. So we'll teach you how to adjust the height of the foot bar and when to adjust the height of the foot bar. How to adjust your spring bar's location given the length of your legs or your overall total body height, and what springs to take on and off during a given exercise. Once we've covered that, we'll shift focus up to the upper portion, the headrest and the shoulder blocks and your strap length. Once you get those two together, it's a breeze from there on out. Through your routine, you'll find you'll be setting everything up with ease in no time. Okay, here's the foot bar. Super easy to adjust once you get the hang of it. The most important thing you have to keep in mind about the foot bar is it needs to be locked in place for safety. So how we lock and unlock this kickstand, you find these little black sliders that are up in against the rungs, and you're going to pull them to the center of the bar so they're out of the way. So now we have unlocked the kickstand and we can now freely move it. So you'll have to free the kickstand out from the rung, and let's say we want to go one lower. You're going to go to the low position and we lock it back in, just like that. Now it's a safe foot bar. We can put all the pressure we want to on it without fear of it sliding out from underneath us. So now from here, I want to go completely flat. So certain exercises will require the foot bars out of the way so we don't kick it. So we have to unlock the kickstand. Now this one's a little trickier. You're going to have to free the kickstand. You're going to have to continue to pull back until you have room to fold the bars inside of each other like so. And then you just lay it completely flat. Voila, we have clean access to the springs. And this will be more commonly used than you think it will. So get very comfortable with adjusting the foot bar up and down. Take it a few times to get familiar with it. Now to put it back up, you just lift both foot bars up. You pull the kickstand back and it'll go into the center position here. Not too bad. And here we are at the springs. So you'll notice we have different colors of springs available to us. Your 3 red springs, they are all even tension with each other. They're your medium tension. After that, you have a blue spring, which is your lightest spring, and you have a green spring, which is your heaviest spring. You may notice that there are 2 rows here. Your bottom row hook will provide your spring a neutral tension for a given exercise. If we were to pump this red spring up onto a button, that would make it about a half a spring tension heavier. So as an example, if I am working on an exercise that requires 1 red spring, and I decide that this is a little too easy for me, I could probably push myself a little bit more, but maybe not go to the next level of spring, which would be our green. Right? I would want to pull this red spring up onto a button, so it's just a half a spring heavier than the red, but not a full spring heavier to qualify for the green, right there. So don't worry about the fine details of that. I will always tell you what springs to put on and when and in which combination, which springs will be on a button and which springs will be on a hook. So no worries about that there. And now you'll notice that all of the springs are attached to a spring bar. Now this bar can move out or in just depending on the length of your legs and how tall you are. So right now this is currently set up as the closest position to the foot bar. Now that would mean you're probably a smaller person, have smaller leg length. I would say anywhere from 5'4" and under should be working on this front position. Now if you were 5'5" and taller, you would have to adjust the spring bar. Now to do so, you'll see these little silver tabs on each side of this carriage right here. You can grab one tab and you're going to notice a little claw underneath that pulls up and grabs the carriage. Once you have that firmly locked in, you can safely push this out to level 2. Again, this would be about my 5'5" and taller people. I would say if you're even taller than that, you could go out to a level 3. So that would be maybe 5'8", 5'9", and taller. You would kind of have to suss that out once you get into an exercise. Now the problem is if you're too far away with this spring bar, you're going to be crashing against the bumpers during a lot of your exercises. So if you find your position is just, if that's happening a lot, that bumping is happening a lot, you're going to have to readjust your foot bar position. So most of us are going to live at either a position 2 or a position 1. Right here, again, your practice, it will firmly tell you what position your spring bar should be in, so you don't need to worry about that. So here we are at the other end of our reformer. We're going to take a look at our shoulder blocks, pegs, and headrest right here. So starting with the headrest, you have a couple of positions to choose from for your headrest. Flat, second position, which is about a medium position, and third. You're never going to use third, so don't worry about it. So you'll likely start your practice off with your second position, and this is good if you have a tight neck and a tight shoulder that day. Now you want to eventually get to the point where we can comfortably work with a flat headrest. That is just going to provide a better alignment of the head, neck, and shoulders, though this might be something we have to work to over time. Now, moving on to the shoulder blocks here. You'll see that the shoulder block has a peg that's behind it, and this is where the straps live. So the straps, you see, they contain a larger strap, and this is usually where we put our feet, and then they contain a shorter strap, and this is usually where we put our hands. Though that can be negotiable, those are the general rules. So how do we tell if our straps are the right length for our carriage? To test this, you'll want to take the larger strap and place it over the shoulder block, like so. Now it should fit at a neutral position right here, so not too baggy and not too tight. If that is off, if the tension is off at all in this tension of the ropes, it's going to affect the tension of the springs that you're pulling against. So we need to find that proper alignment. So let's just say the straps here are a little bit too loose. I'm gonna make up a scenario for us here. So they're a little bit too loose here, pop that up, and that's what it would look like. It would hang out really baggy over these shoulder blocks. Now we have to tighten it up. All right, so you hook that over the edge, okay? Now you'll you'll go ahead and pull that rope back into the cleat here. This one's super easy if you have to shorten it. You just pull tight. Just like that, right there, and then you can just guide the excess down this little hole so it disappears. And that's how you shorten a long strap. Now, if you need to loosen up a strap, let's say, no, it's way back here and it's super tight and I can't put it over the shoulder block. So we gotta loosen it. Right here, all you do is you take this rope in front of these two cleats, take this rope and completely pop it up. So it is loose and I can let some rope out. Then, I hook it over the shoulder block like we did before. Now I'm going to use my thumb. I use my thumb, other people can use their fingers, but I go from the outside to the inside. So I can roll my thumb in there, and that way the cleats can clamp shut on the rope holding it in place. Now it's still too baggy, so guess what? We just pull until it's at a tension that we like and guide the excess down. So now you've got a nice taut strap. You have to make sure that it's even with the other strap. So I like to bring my straps to the center of the headrest and just make sure that they are even. And I make any little fine-tune adjustments that I need to. If I need to shorten it a little bit here, because this one seems a little longer, then we know how to do that. Once you're happy and satisfied with those straps, you hang them on those pegs and you are ready to begin your workout.